I'm Jonathan Friedman, back in the studio, Radio Entrepreneurs, and our next guest to join us is Julie Tolek. Julie from Think Pink Law. Julie, a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. I noticed that you are not only from Think Pink Law, but you are a woman that comes in dashing in pink. Pink blouse, pink lips, pink nails.
I am the brand.
Pink case on your phone. There's probably plenty more pink to go around.
Yes,
But why
definitely.
don't you tell our listeners a little bit about you and Think Pink Law and how you got to where you are?
Sure. So I am a family law and estate planning attorney, and Think Pink Law is the name of my firm. I wanted to do something different, obviously, with my branding and stand out from the rest of the family law attorneys in Boston. So I created Think Pink, and the backstory behind it is that I wanted it to be something that was a human law firm. The goal is to be relatable to people. I'm just another person like everybody else because I know the law doesn't make me any different. I experience the same things that a lot of people experience, and I wanted to remove the intimidation factor. Personally, I don't enjoy talking to most attorneys, especially if they're in suits. I find them intimidating myself. So I wanted to be that I did not like. Be what I
So
do the opposite of what I didn't like.
So break down the barriers.
Break down the barrier, comfort people, earn their trust just by being human. And I think family law was the perfect place to start with that because there is a lot of emotional turmoil in family law, and oftentimes it's an uncomfortable thing to discuss. And if you're sitting in front of somebody in a suit, I don't think it helps the situation.
Now, one might presume, and perhaps inaccurately, that a lot of your clients are women, but do you work both with women and men?
It's funny that you mentioned that because most of my clients are men. And I don't know if that happens by chance because I do get a lot of referrals. So I don't know that they necessarily know that I am Think Pink until we correspond via email and they see my email address or they see my signature on my website. But most of my clients are men. And I mean, I've heard that that's a good thing. For in general, to have a female family law attorney, I've heard that it can produce better results than having a male family law attorney, but I don't know.
So you mentioned that you had a former career and then made a decision to go to law school. You want to share with our listeners how that happened? And
Sure. I always wanted to go to law school. Actually, it was a dream of mine. And when I was an undergrad at Suffolk, I took the LSAT in 2003 when I graduated in the spring. And my advisor said my score was not high enough to get into any law schools. And he said, don't even bother applying.
That's encouraging.
Yeah, right. So I said, okay, fine, I won't. And I thought the next best thing to do would be to go to medical school because why not? So I tried to do a post-bac pre-med program at 3 other schools in Chicago. I moved to Chicago for a couple years, and I took chemistry a bunch of times, did not do very well in chemistry. And at that time, I started working for Apple, so I shifted my focus from school to actually starting a career working at Apple. And after almost 3 years there, I decided that I really did want to go back to school, and I had to take the LSAT again because it had expired. And I got the same score that I did the first time, and I got into every school that I wanted to get into, and came back to Boston.
Before you do go, I'll just come full circle and ask you, if you're dealing with people that are in business, if you wanted to offer out any sort of suggestions or advice to people in a general sense, to get some idea of how you think, would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, of course. I think every case is different, and I think the individual dialogue starts first. I mean, the more details somebody has to give me, the better, because sometimes I find it's like pulling teeth to get information, and I have to ask the same question a couple different ways to get what I'm looking for. But there's no general best way to prepare. I mean, as long as they have an open mind and they are seeking help, then together through conversation we'll figure out what they need to do.